No one inside Buckingham Palace imagined that Lady Louise Windsor, the quiet, book-loving granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II, would be the one to send a jolt through the entire royal family. But that's exactly what unfolded behind the scenes. A surprise announcement from Lady Louise didn't just raise eyebrows, it reportedly left senior royals stunned, advisors scrambling, and royal watchers questioning everything they thought they knew about the monarchy's most private young woman. For 2 decades, she stayed in the background while louder, flashier royal headlines stole the spotlight. She was the calm face in the back row, the thoughtful figure who never sought attention, and the last person anyone expected would step into a role that could change the direction of the royal family itself. Yet, here we are, and the shockwaves haven't stopped. What makes her announcement so powerful is that it didn't come through a press release or a staged photo op. It came quietly, through a small group of insiders, who say Lady Louise finally revealed the path she wants her life to take, and that path is far more daring, far more unexpected, and far more consequential than anyone predicted. This wasn't a speech. This wasn't a media moment. This was a decision rooted in who she has always been. A decision shaped by years of quiet determination, deep influence from the late Prince Philip, and a lifetime spent watching the royal world from the shadows rather than the spotlight. And because she grew up tucked away from royal chaos, far from public expectations, the significance of this moment hits differently. Her choice wasn't shaped by pressure. It wasn't sculpted by duty. It was hers alone. To understand why this moment matters so much, you have to go back to the beginning. Lady Louise Windsor was raised in a way no other modern Windsor has been. While Willie and Harry navigated a childhood smothered by press photographers and tabloid narratives, Louise lived almost invisibly. Bagshot Park became her quiet world, a sanctuary where she could grow without palace politics shaping her identity. Prince Edward and Sophie were determined to protect her from the machine that swallowed so many young royals before her. They refused the princess title that many expected she would carry. They insisted she attend an ordinary school with ordinary classmates. They wanted her to form her own identity, her own views, and her own ambitions without the weight of a royal script written for her. That decision, radical at the time, may be the key to everything unfolding now. Because that sheltered upbringing gave Louise something rare: independence. Not independence in the grand political sense, but personal independence, the freedom to build her private world, her private passions, and her private plans without cameras following her every move. While royal watchers debated William's future, or Harry's controversies, or Meghan's influence, Louise was quietly crafting her own path. People underestimated her because she was quiet. They misread her gentleness as fragility. They mistook her reserve for passivity. But the people closest to her, friends, staff, and even a few palace insiders, always knew she had a core of steel. And that hidden strength is finally stepping into view. But nothing shaped her more than her bond with Prince Philip. Among all the Windsor grandchildren, she was the one who shared his love of mechanics, discipline, structure, and the thrill of mastering something difficult. Philip saw something in her, something sharp, curious, and determined. He didn't just teach her carriage driving, he taught her how to think like a disciplined competitor. He taught her to understand the mechanics behind the sport, the weight, the balance, the precision of every movement. While other royal children gravitated toward media attention or ceremonial roles, Louise was learning how to maintain equipment, how to train ponies, how to stay focused under pressure. That's not the kind of mentorship royals usually get. That's the kind of mentorship future officers receive. When Philip died, the world caught a rare glimpse of this connection. Lady Louise, driving his carriage at the Windsor Horse Show, wasn't just emotional. It was a statement of who she had become. She moved with steady control, unshaken composure, and a quiet strength that stunned even seasoned royal staff. People who thought she was the shy Windsor suddenly realized she had a different kind of power, one built through discipline rather than publicity. That image didn't just honor Philip. It hinted at a future she wasn't ready to announce then, but seems to be embracing now. For years, whispers about her future floated around the palace, barely noticeable unless you paid close attention. Some staff mentioned that she asked detailed questions about military cadet programs. A couple of academics from her university recalled her fascination with leadership training. And when she began attending equestrian events where members of the household cavalry were present, the speculation intensified. But even then, no one believed she would actually pursue anything beyond quiet royal charity roles, because that's what young Windsor women usually do. Which is exactly why her announcement struck like lightning. Royal women aren't expected to take on active military roles. Yes, they may hold honorary titles, appear in uniforms during ceremonies, or support the armed forces through charity. But actually stepping into military training, walking into Sandhurst, considering a commission that crosses into territory, royal women rarely enter, and if Lady Louise follows through, she won't just be another young royal. She'll be rewriting the script for what royal women can choose for themselves. Insiders say the reaction inside the palace was split. Some senior royals admire her deeply. They see her as the future the monarchy needs. Grounded, disciplined, intelligent, and unafraid to forge her own purpose. Others are nervous, worried that the media will twist her decision into controversial comparisons with Prince Harry or imply she's using the military to redefine her image. But those concerns completely miss the point. This wasn't a PR move. This wasn't a palace strategy. This was a young woman making a decision long before the public ever knew it was on the table. And what makes her decision even more interesting is the timing. The monarchy is under pressure to evolve. King Charles is slimming down the working royal roster. Younger royals are being forced to choose between a life of public duty or a life of personal independence. With fewer full-time royals available, the system is changing, whether they like it or not. In that environment, Louise's choice feels symbolic, a sign that the next generation won't cling to titles or ceremonies the way previous ones did. They want identity. They want purpose. They want lives built on something more than photo ops and speeches. If Louise enters military service, the possibilities are vast. She could train at Sandhurst, taking the same path as William and Harry. She could join the Royal Navy in honor of Prince Philip. She could pursue the Army Reserves, balancing structured service with her private life. She could specialize in logistics or equestrian-related corps, combining her discipline with her technical skill. And because she's not a working royal, she wouldn't be bound by the same strict expectations as William, Kate, or even Princess Anne. She could serve quietly, effectively, and without the political weight senior royals often carry. And here's the part the monarchy may not fully realize yet. If Lady Louise succeeds, she could become one of the most respected Windsors of her generation. Not because she seeks admiration, but because she embodies a kind of understated integrity the public craves. She isn't chasing fame. She isn't launching projects for attention. She isn't leveraging her royal connection to build a brand. She is simply choosing a path that demands commitment, discipline, and character. And that's far more powerful than any tiara or title could ever be. Her announcement also raises an uncomfortable question for the rest of the royals. What does duty actually look like in the modern era? Is it ceremonial tradition? Or is it service rooted in real work, real sacrifice, and real contribution. Lady Louise seems to lean toward the latter, and if she follows through, she may set a new precedent, one that younger royals, like Princess Charlotte or little Lilibet, might one day look to. But beyond the historical significance, there's something deeply human about Louise's choice. She's never been interested in being famous. She has no social media presence, no public persona to maintain, no thirst for attention. Her interests, literature, equestrian work, quiet study, reflect a personality built on thoughtfulness, not theatrics. And yet, beneath that calm exterior is a young woman with drive, courage, and the willingness to carve out a life defined by her own values. That combination, humility and strength, is what makes her stand out. It's what made her grandfather believe in her. It's what her mother Sophie often hinted at when she described Louise as deeply grounded and more capable than people realize. And now, as her path unfolds, it's what could reshape her entire future. Because ultimately, Lady Louise's announcement isn't just a royal story. It's a story about a young woman stepping into herself, a story about breaking quiet expectations, a story about a generation of royals who don't want inherited roles, they want earned ones. Whether she becomes a full officer, a reservist, or something entirely new, one truth is clear. The monarchy will look different because of her. And maybe that's the biggest shock of all. Not that Lady Louise made an unexpected announcement, but that the quietest royal of her generation might become the one who leaves the deepest mark.